Sasbude, Dr. Anurag Batra. Already have spoken a whole lot about the need of MBA education in a current context, how it's going to evolve over a period of time. Anurag talked about 30 years ago what he studied and how it's going to be in future, or what he believes is going to be in future. I thought I'll just put in perspective that management education was born with a purpose. In a formal way, some universities had a degree program. When IIM Ahmedabad and Calcutta were created, the basic objective was to accelerate the development of India. The idea was simple, that you can have engineers, they will be able to proceed over a period of time, and they will acquire those skills as they proceed with their life over 10, 15, 20 years of experience. In order to accelerate that growth, the MBA education was invented in India, where objective was to create people who will be able to lead immediately right after joining the job. That means what is going on in the industry, how an industry is being managed, will be reflected and taught in the management education institute. In other words, it was a highly professional degree. Unlike many other degrees where acquiring theoretical knowledge was important, it was only about acquiring the practical knowledge. Just to give you a glimpse of it, IIM Ahmedabad didn't even start an MBA program for first 4 years, because it decided we have to learn as well as the industry has to learn, and we have to accelerate it faster. In order to accelerate it faster, we ran what we call the general management program for the industry by going to the industry, teaching their engineers, becoming a quick managers. In the process, we also acquired knowledge. We also created case studies so that we can launch a 2-year MBA program, and from there we can reflect what is going on in the industry in the classroom and prepare them quickly, a fresh or 1 or 2 year experienced people, so they become a ready managers. With that kind of an objective in mind, when IIM Ahmedabad was born, that objective has to remain same. So if industry changes, the countries need requirements change, the MBA education also has to change. Now, what is the challenge in front of us? The challenge in front of us is our Prime Minister has put a goal of what we call the Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat means what? It really means today's 4 trillion economy, by 2047, which is less than 22 years away, has to multiply by 8-fold and become a 35 trillion economy. Per capita income term, that's how the developed world is measured, has to have a $21,000 per capita income of the country. Today, where are we? Less than 3,000, 2,700, 2,800, somewhere below. That means that also has to multiply 7 to 8 times. That means the GDP has to multiply 7-8 times. Also, the per capita income has to multiply 7 to 8 times. Which means, can linear growth take you to that place in 22 years? I don't think any sort of accelerated linear growth will not be able to reach that. Management education institutes have to come in picture to look at what are the inflection points, because we have to focus on the non-linear growth. We have to have an exponential non-linear growth opportunity so that we can accelerate the industrial growth using the inflection point. And that inflection point today is arising because of the artificial intelligence. We have had several inflection points in the past. I think late 90s, we had a e-commerce based inflection point. Early 90s and late 80s, we had an inflection point of a software development. Of course, you made use of that inflection point, not fully to our advantage. We become a product developer for others. That means the inflection point was realized by all other countries. Also, we gain the trickle-down effect of that. This is a third opportunity in the past 30 years or 40 years we are going to get, and we have to be able to reflect on that and get into that. If you look at the industry, what is happening with the industry? Industry itself is transforming. The robotics is coming in. Autonomous systems are coming in. Also, what we call the generative AI is also coming in. Generative AI is very heavily going to impact the service industry. On the other hand, robotics and autonomous systems are going to reflect starting from supply chain to manufacturing, all aspects of the management education. We have to get the new case studies. We have to get the new kind of reflection of what is going on in the industry. Sometimes lead them, sometimes be led by them. Understand the leading industry, what they have adopted, create case studies out of them, and reflect it into our education. So other organizations where our people join, they will be able to accelerate their growth. AI provides the greatest opportunity of any point of time. And where it will come from? The AI opportunity is great because if you see, people are talking about trillions of dollars of impact of AI economy, but India is well poised this time. If you look at AI readiness, Stanford University just came out with a report, I think a couple of months back, which says after US, China and UK, India is fourth in the readiness to adopt the AI in their industry as well as in the economy as a whole. If you look at the GitHub, which is many of you who are from software community will know is the largest software community, 25% projects in the GitHub community are of Indians or of Indian origin, which really puts a great opportunity that many of these applications which are being put out in the GitHub community, if they are converted, there is going to be huge opportunity. And that's where when Anilji was talking about that there is a great opportunity for MSME industry because most of these will start from MSME industry. And any country's growth truly depends not on the large industry. Large industry provide a impetus and acceleration, but the growth happens from MSME. Even today you look at India. Who is major provider of the employment? 6.8 crore businesses are there which are in the MSME sector. They are providing 28 crore people employment in India. Many of them, I would say 93% of them almost are in the micro and small category, only 7% are medium. If many of them, if they move from even micro and small category to medium, India is going to see that accelerated growth which has the opportunity for growing in this country. Two types of opportunity arise. One is that what we talked about, and I'm not going to repeat that today because I've talked about many times that what will happen in the manufacturing industry, what will happen in the service industry and how they will be altered in future. But what major thing is going to happen is that two aspects of opportunity. One will come from the infrastructure development itself. Because AI is not in the air, it requires huge amount of computing power. And that means you need to be leader in infrastructure itself. Now, fortunate part is that you have seen recently, Google has also realized India is the powerhouse of the talent and they are putting 13,000 crore data center in Visakhapatnam. Also, Microsoft immediately followed and they have put together, they are not putting a data center, they haven't spelled out that, but they are putting a 17 billion strategy that we are going to invest $17 billion in India in AI setup, etc. and so on. Amazon has also talked about setting up about $35 billion by 2030 in variety of IT and infrastructure as well as the development centers in India. So there lies the huge opportunity in India. Latest being, you notice that Reliance Industries recently announced that they are also going to set up a 10,000 crore data center in India. So that's one opportunity. Who will manage? One is the technical talent, but these gigawatt data centers require a huge management pool. Are we preparing our managers to reflect on that, fulfill that void? And that remains the biggest challenge for us in today's environment. So the MBA education we are doing today has to reflect on all these opportunities. Second, when GitHub has 24 projects coming from India, a whole lot of these projects are AI related. That means India has the opportunities of the management education institutes also have to give rise to promotion of a great deal of entrepreneurship. That entrepreneurship will come if you have in your curriculum as well as in your ecosystem, an opportunity for them to reflect on that, create that and support them. So in that context, you know that we have IIMA Ventures where at least 10,000 ventures have been supported till date. I think about 3,000 to 4,000 are successful ventures. Few of them have gone to become unicorn. We always claim that 30% of the unicorns in India are born in IIM Ahmedabad. Latest venture, so many of you may know, is called Idea Forge, which went to IPO recently. E-Plane, many of the drone companies. And the latest one, which has not gone to the public domain yet, is called PeerSight, which is putting the microsatellites. So we are heavily into deep tech. The idea is that technology comes from IITs. We are not a technology institute. So we take the technology, which is a TRL 3 or 4, bring it to IIM Ahmedabad, because we have recognized this technology as a potential, and then we are able to reflect on that and support those people through IIMA Ventures and create that. Objective is then, if management institutes align their education, coming AI, infrastructure of AI, and followed by supporting the entrepreneurship aspect in the management graduates, I think we will not have a job problem, nor we will have other challenges. We will have a market-ready, industry-ready, and more importantly, I say, countries development-ready management graduates. And that is our focus for the future, and that's what we are creating our curriculum for. Thank you. Thank you very much. My time's up.